Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because what you're about to hear will shatter everything you thought you knew about the glamorous world of Hollywood's power couples. I'm talking about Erika Kirk, the queen of red carpets and viral TikToks, whose picture-perfect family has been the envy of millions. But hold on to your seats, newly leaked footage has just surfaced, and it's explosive. This isn't some tabloid rumor, this is cold, hard evidence confirming the unthinkable. Erika Kirk rented her kids. Yes, you heard that right, those adorable little munchkins we've seen splashing in infinity pools and posing for sponsored family photos? They're not hers by blood or adoption. They're on loan, like luxury cars from a high-end dealership, all to keep up the facade of the ultimate mom influencer empire. Picture this. Grainy security cam clips from a shady agency in Beverly Hills, showing Erika signing papers with a sly grin, whispering to an agent about temporary family upgrades. Fans are absolutely reeling. Social media is on fire with hashtags like #ErikaExposed and #RentedKids scandal trending worldwide. Emotions are running sky high as loyal followers who idolized her, real talk, parenting vlogs feel utterly betrayed. How could she fake motherhood like this? One devastated commenter wailed online. But the real bombshell? Did her husband, the charming tech mogul Charlie Kirk, know about this wild scheme? Was he in on the deception, or is he the ultimate victim, blindsided by his wife's desperate grab for fame? The drama doesn't stop there. Whispers from insiders paint a picture of heated late-night arguments in their sprawling mansion, where Erika allegedly screamed, "It's all for the brand, Charlie. Don't you get it?" while he stormed out, slamming doors that echoed through their marble halls. Family friends are divided, some swearing Erika's just a misunderstood visionary, others calling it the betrayal of the century. And let's not forget the kids themselves, caught in this whirlwind of lies. Are they actors? Foster placements? The footage hints at monthly payments and non-disclosure agreements that could blow the lid off celebrity parenting forever. If your jaw isn't on the floor yet, stick around because we're diving deep into the twists, the tears, and the shocking revelations that could end the Kirks' reign for good. You won't believe what happens next, trust me, this is the scandal that's got everyone talking, and it's only getting juicier. Hit play, and let's unravel this mess together. Okay, so let's dive straight into this absolute train wreck of a scandal because the newly surfaced footage isn't just a smoking gun, it's a whole arsenal pointed right at the heart of the Kirk family empire, and it all starts with that blurry security cam clip from the Beverly Hills agency nobody even knew existed until some anonymous whistleblower dropped it like a bomb on a private Discord server. Fans are losing their minds scrolling through frame by frame, zooming in on Erika's signature, that confident loop and the way she leans in to whisper something to the agent behind the glass partition. You can almost read her lips saying make sure they're camera ready this time. The kids in the footage, 2 boys and 1 girl, ages looking about 5, 7 and 9, they're sitting quietly on those stiff leather chairs, clutching juice boxes, wearing matching designer outfits that scream sponsored post material, but their eyes tell a different story, wide, nervous, like they've been coached to smile on cue, and the paperwork sliding across the counter, monthly rental agreement, temporary guardianship clause, non-disclosure signed in triplicate. It's all there, crystal clear proof that those precious moments we've been fed for years, mommy and me yoga, beach picnics, bedtime story readings, were staged productions paid for by the hour. Insiders are coming forward now, spilling tea left and right. One former nanny who worked for the Kirks for 6 months but was let go after asking too many questions told a gossip podcast yesterday, "I always thought it was weird how the kids would show up for shoots then vanish for weeks at a time, no school drop-offs, no playdates, just poof, gone, and when they came back they acted like strangers to their own supposed mom. Erika would have to reintroduce herself, 'Hi sweetie, remember me?' and the little girl would nod politely like she was meeting a nice aunt, not her actual mother. It broke my heart, but I signed an NDA, so I kept quiet until now." Fans who once defended Erika tooth and nail are turning vicious in the comments. "How could you lie to us for likes and brand deals?" One viral tweet reads, "Erika Kirk, you built your entire persona on being the relatable mom boss and it was all fake. You're worse than a catfish, you're a whole fabricated family." But here's where the knife really twists. Did Charlie know? The big question everyone's screaming across every platform, because if he didn't know, then he's the betrayed husband, the poor clueless guy coming home to a wife who outsourced motherhood. If he did know, then he's complicit in one of the most elaborate influencer cons we've ever seen. Picture this: grainy Ring doorbell footage leaked just hours after the agency clip Charlie pulling into the driveway at 2 in the morning, looking exhausted from some tech conference. Erika waiting at the door, arms crossed, face thunderous. They go inside, but the audio picks up everything through an open window, emotions running high as they say she starts first. You promised you'd handle the PR fallout. Why is this blowing up now? Charlie's voice low, trying to calm her down. Babe, I told you we should have gone with the adoption route. This rental thing was always risky. And then her scream echoes through the neighborhood. I did it for us, for the brand, for the kids' future college funds. You think those sponsorships pay themselves? And Charlie snaps back, the kids aren't even ours, Erika, they're props. How long were you planning to keep this up? Forever. That exchange has been dissected a million times, slowed down, enhanced, volume boosted. Fans are picking apart every word. Was that guilt in Charlie's voice or just exhaustion? Some body language experts hired by drama channels are saying his shoulders slumped when he said they're not even ours. Classic sign of someone carrying a heavy secret too long. Others argue no, he's shocked. Look at how his hands fly up in disbelief, like he just found out the woman he married has been running a side hustle in fake family life. Either way, the marriage is cracking right in front of our eyes. Live on the internet. Meanwhile, the rented kids themselves are the real victims here. According to a source close to the agency, the 3 children come from struggling single-parent homes, scouted specifically because they photograph well and can memorize lines quickly. They're paid a flat fee plus bonuses for good behavior on camera, but the contracts are ironclad: no social media, no talking to press, and after each gig, they go back to their real families with strict instructions to forget the Kirk mansion ever existed. One of the boys reportedly told his real mom after a shoot, "Mommy, why does that lady hug me so tight? When the cameras are on, it feels fake." The mother broke down crying when she heard the full story. She thought it was just extra work, extra money for school supplies. She never imagined her son was being used as a prop in someone else's dream life. The betrayal hits hardest with Erika's inner circle, her best friend and fellow influencer Lila Monroe, who built half her brand around double dates with the Kirks, posted a cryptic story last night. Black screen, white text: "Sometimes the people closest to you are the best actors. I trusted you." And then she blocked anyone who asked for details. Lila's followers are in shambles, some siding with her, calling Erika a snake, others defending the queen, saying Lila's just jealous of the bigger following. Drama breeds drama, and right now the internet is a battlefield divided between Team Erika was just hustling smarter and Team she exploited children for content. As the hours tick by, more footage keeps surfacing. A behind-the-scenes clip from one of Erika's most viral family vlogs, the one where they baked cookies for charity. You see the director off-camera motioning to the kids, "Okay, now look excited about the chocolate chips." Erika laughs nervously, glancing at the lens, then whispers to the oldest boy, "Remember your line, buddy," and he recites robotically, "These are the best cookies ever, Mommy, I love baking with you." Cut to Erika wiping a tear, saying, "See, even he gets emotional. It's so real." Fans who watched that video thousands of times are now vomiting in the comments. "We were all so manipulated. I cried watching that, thinking it was genuine love." Charlie hasn't posted since the scandal broke. His last tweet was a generic motivational quote about resilience 3 days ago. Now radio silence, but paparazzi caught him leaving their Malibu house this morning alone, suitcase in hand. No Erika, no kids, just him looking like he aged 10 years overnight. Sources say he's holed up in a hotel downtown trying to process whether his entire marriage was built on a lie. Erika, on the other hand, is doubling down, posting cryptic selfies with captions like "The truth always comes out. Stay tuned, Queens." The arrogance is unreal, and it's only fueling the fire. Family friends are choosing sides fast. Erika's mom went live on Facebook defending her daughter. "My baby would never hurt those children. She's just a creative entrepreneur navigating a tough industry." Charlie's sister, on the other hand, posted a single emoji, the broken heart one, and then nothing. The Kirks, who used to be the picture of unity, are now a house divided, torn apart by ambition, greed, and one hell of a secret that refused to stay buried any longer. And just when you think it can't get worse, rumor has it the agency is preparing to release full client list, names, dates, dollar amounts. Every celebrity who ever rented a kid for a photo op or a feel-good campaign. The dominoes are falling, and the Kirk scandal might just be the first in a long line of exposés that could topple half of influencer Hollywood. But for now, all eyes are on Erika and Charlie, because whatever happens next, whether it's divorce, reconciliation, or total implosion, one thing is crystal clear: the perfect family facade is shattered, and the pieces are cutting everyone who ever believed in it. The fallout from that leaked Ring doorbell audio is spreading like wildfire across every corner of the internet, and just as the dust starts to settle a little, another bombshell drops, this one even uglier. A second set of footage surfaces, not from the agency this time but from inside the Kirk mansion itself, courtesy of what looks like a hacked nanny cam hidden in the playroom nobody saw coming. The timestamp reads 2 weeks before the first leak, and what it captures has fans screaming betrayal on steroids. Erika is there alone with the 3 rented kids, no crew, no Charlie, just her trying to stage what appears to be a spontaneous family game night. She's wearing that signature cozy oversized sweater, the one from her winter collection collab, but her face tells a different story. Tense, exhausted, almost robotic, she lines the kids up on the rug. Okay babies, big smiles for mommy's phone. We're doing the TikTok trend, remember the one with the silly faces? The oldest boy hesitates, looks at his siblings, then mutters under his breath, "This isn't my real mom." The mic picks it up crystal clear. Erika freezes for half a second, then plasters on the brightest smile you've ever seen. "Shush sweetie, we talked about this, it's our little secret game, right? Pretend time." And she ruffles his hair like it's all cute and playful, but the camera catches the way her hand trembles, the way the little girl flinches just a tiny bit when Erika reaches for her. It's heartbreaking, raw, unfiltered proof that behind the filters and the edits, these children knew exactly what was happening. They were playing roles in a script they never auditioned for. Social media explodes within minutes of the clip going viral. #NannyCam truth trends #1 worldwide. People are stitching their reactions side by side with old Kirk family videos. The contrast is brutal. One side shows Erika laughing as the kids pile on her for a group hug. The other shows those same kids looking uncomfortable, forced to recreate the moment for content. A prominent drama commentator with over 2 million subs goes live for 4 straight hours, breaking it down frame by frame. You can see the grooming here, folks. She's conditioning them to lie, normalizing the deception so they don't slip up on camera. It's not parenting, it's psychological manipulation. And Charlie, where was he during all this? The footage shows an empty chair at the head of the table, his spot untouched, like he'd already started checking out emotionally. Some fans are now theorizing he suspected something months ago, maybe even confronted her privately, because in old vlogs you can spot tiny moments where he looks off camera awkward. When the kids call Erika mommy, his smile never quite reaches his eyes. Was he playing along to keep the peace, or did he genuinely believe they were building something real together? The questions are endless and nobody has answers yet. Erika's PR team scrambles into damage control mode, releasing a carefully worded statement through her management. "We are aware of unauthorized footage being circulated and are working with authorities to address this invasion of privacy. Our focus remains on the well-being of everyone involved. Please respect the family during this difficult time." But the internet doesn't buy it for a second. Comments flood in, calling it tone-deaf gaslighting at its finest. One top reply reads, "Invasion of privacy? You mean the privacy of renting children like Airbnbs for content? No mention of the kids, no apology, just classic celebrity deflection. It backfires spectacularly. Her follower count, which hovered around 8.2 million, starts bleeding. Thousands an hour. Loyal stans are unfollowing in droves, posting goodbye letters like, "I believed in you, I bought your cookbooks, your skincare line, I told my own kids you were goals, and you lied about the most sacred thing a mother can have. Shame on you." On the flip side, a small but vocal group of defenders emerges, mostly other influencers who've built similar facades. They flood the comments with variations of hustle culture isn't pretty, sometimes you do what you have to do for the bag, she's a boss not a villain. But even that narrative cracks when a former collaborator leaks DM screenshots from 6 months ago. Erika texting her, "Hey babe, need a quick family fill in for next week's shoot, the usual 3, can you hook me up with that agency again?" The reply comes fast, "Sure thing, same rate extra for the girl she photographs like a dream." The messages are timestamped right around when Erika posted her viral "We're Growing Our Family" vlog series, the one that got 20 million views and countless tears from viewers thinking another baby was on the way. Turns out the only thing growing was the rental budget. The hypocrisy is suffocating, and fans who once ate up every sponsored post are now boycotting her brand deals left and right. Companies are quietly dropping her one makeup line already issued a "We're reviewing our partnership" statement. Another kids clothing brand pulled an entire collab overnight, citing misalignment with our values. The empire she built brick by click is crumbling faster than anyone predicted. Charlie finally breaks his silence, not with a post but with a single Instagram story, a black square and white text, 4 words, "I need time and space." No tags, no explanation, just those words hanging in the air like a guillotine. Fans interpret it 100 different ways. Some say it's code for "I'm filing for divorce," others think he's protecting himself legally, staying quiet until lawyers sort through the mess. But the most gut-wrenching theory comes from a body language expert who analyzes old clips side by side with this new still. He's not just hurt, he's grieving. The man looks like someone who lost his entire imagined future. The kids he thought were his, the wife he thought was real, the life he posted about every Sunday with gratitude captions, it's all evaporating and he's left holding nothing but questions and maybe a stack of legal documents he never wanted to sign. The rented kids angle gets even darker when a journalist from a major gossip outlet tracks down one of the real mothers. She agrees to speak anonymously, voice distorted, face blurred, but her pain cuts through the pixels. My son came home from those shoots different, quieter. He'd have nightmares about forgetting his lines, about having to call a stranger mommy. I thought it was harmless extra cash for his braces. Now I know I let someone use my child like a doll. I'll never forgive myself. The interview goes mega viral, shared by news outlets across the globe. Suddenly, this isn't just influencer drama, it's a conversation about child exploitation in the content creation industry. Regulators are starting to take notice. Petitions are circulating demanding investigations into so-called family influencers. Agencies are getting doxed, websites taken down temporarily. The ripple effect is massive, and at the center of it all, Erika Kirk, the woman who once preached authenticity above everything else, now stands accused of orchestrating the most elaborate fake it till you make it scheme Hollywood has ever seen. But wait, because just as the outrage peaks, another twist lands like a sucker punch. A fourth piece of footage surfaces, this one audio only seemingly recorded on Charlie's phone during what sounds like a therapy session or maybe just a late-night fight. The voices are muffled but unmistakable. Erika crying hysterically, "I didn't know how else to keep us relevant. Charlie, you were always gone." At conferences, board meetings, investor dinners, I was drowning in the algorithm trying to stay on top. And Charlie's reply, cold, almost detached, "Then you should have talked to me instead of turning our home into a set. I loved those kids, Erika. I loved them like they were mine, and you took that from me too." The line goes silent for a long beat, then her whisper, barely audible, "I thought you'd understand it." Was first. The recording cuts off there, but the damage is done. Charlie didn't just know he bonded with those children deeply, maybe more than Erika ever did, and she stripped that away, all for content, all for relevance. The revelation flips the narrative yet again. Now some fans are pitying Charlie, calling him the real victim, while others double down on Erika, saying she was trapped in an impossible industry that rewards perfection over honesty. The family once celebrated as unbreakable is now a cautionary tale, dissected, debated, and torn apart piece by piece with no end in sight. The storm refuses to die down, and if anything, the winds are picking up, because overnight a bombshell interview drops from one of the rented kids' real biological mothers, speaking publicly for the first time on a major morning show. Face blurred, voice slightly modulated, but the emotion raw and unfiltered. She sits there clutching a tissue, recounting how her 9-year-old daughter was first approached by the agency 2 years ago. They said it was modeling work, easy money for dance classes and new shoes. I signed thinking it was legitimate extra gigs, not realizing my baby was being loaned out like a library book to play someone else's child. The host asks gently, "Did you ever meet Erika Kirk in person?" And the mother's voice cracks, "No, never, just saw her on the videos hugging my daughter, calling her sweetie while my girl came home confused, asking why that lady cries when the cameras stop. It felt wrong, but the checks cleared and we needed them." The interview ends with her looking straight into the lens. "If anyone out there is renting kids, please stop. They're not accessories, they're children with feelings, hearts, nightmares because of your content." The clip racks up over 50 million views in 24 hours, shared, reposted, dissected, turning what started as influencer gossip into a full-blown cultural reckoning. Parents across the country are pausing their own family vlogs, suddenly questioning every smile, every sponsored toy review. Is this real or rented? The conversation shifts from Erika specifically to the entire ecosystem of family content creators and the pressure cooker they live in, chasing algorithm gods one viral moment at a time. Back at the Kirk camp, Erika finally goes live, not a polished PR statement but a tear-streaked impromptu session from what looks like a guest bedroom, not the usual marble kitchen backdrop. She's makeup-free, hair in a messy bun, voice shaky as she starts, "Guys, I owe you the truth. I never meant to hurt anyone. Those kids, they were part of our story for a while, but it wasn't what you think. It was love. Real love, just arranged differently." The chat explodes with question marks, crying emojis, angry faces. She keeps going, "Charlie and we struggled. We wanted a family so bad. The traditional way wasn't happening fast enough, and this felt like a bridge, a way to show the world what we could be while we figured it out. I know it sounds messed up now, but in the moment it felt like survival." Fans are split right down the middle, some typing, "I still love you, queen. You were just trying to build something." Others firing back, "Survival doesn't mean lying to millions of people and using children as set dressing. You're not the victim here." The live ends abruptly when she breaks down, sobbing into her hands, muttering, "I'm so sorry," over and over. The replay gets looped endlessly on drama channels, analysts picking apart every micro expression. Is that genuine remorse or another performance? The consensus leans toward crocodile tears, especially when eagle-eyed viewers notice a new designer handbag on the dresser in the background, fresh drop from a brand that hasn't cut ties yet being the operative word. Charlie's silence stretches into day 5, but then he surfaces not on socials but through a close friend who leaks an audio message to a podcast host. Charlie's voice is low, gravelly, like he hasn't slept. I believed we were building something honest. I held those kids, read them stories, tucked them in when Erika was filming late. I thought adoption was next. Paperwork was started, then I found the contracts hidden in her office drawer, rental agreements, renewal dates, like leasing a car. It gutted me. I'm not saying I was perfect. I traveled too much, left her alone with the pressure, but this crossed every line. I'm taking time to figure out what's left, if anything. The friend adds off record. Charlie's devastated. He loved those children like his own flesh and blood. Finding out they were temporary hires destroyed him more than the public humiliation. The audio spreads like gasoline on the already raging fire. Suddenly Team Charlie surges. Fans who once shipped the couple hard are now posting edits of him alone with sad piano music captioned, "He deserved better." The narrative flips again. Erika the ambitious mastermind, Charlie the heartbroken family man blindsided by the woman he trusted most. Twist number 5 lands like thunder when the agency itself releases a public statement after days of being radio silent. "We wish to clarify that our services provide temporary companionship arrangements for entertainment and promotional purposes. All participants are consenting, vetted, and compensated appropriately. Minors are accompanied by legal guardians at all times. We regret any distress caused by recent events and are cooperating fully with inquiries." The wording is clinical corporate, but the subtext screams we're throwing Erika under the bus, because attached to the statement is a redacted client list snippet, just enough black bars to tease, but one name peeks through: unmistakable first initial E, last name K, date range matching the height of the Kirk family vlog era. Fans zoom in, enhance, contrast, scream, "It's her, it's definitely her." The agency just confirmed they're cutting ties, publicly hanging their biggest client out to dry to save face. The move is ruthless, brilliant, and it seals Erika's fate in the eyes of many. No more plausible deniability, no more "I was young and dumb" excuses. The receipts are official now. Erika's inner circle continues to fracture. Lila Monroe, her former ride or die, posts a full carousel of throwback photos captioned, "Friendship isn't forever when trust is broken. I wish you healing, but I can't co-sign this anymore." Unfollowed, blocked, muted. The end. Lila's followers rally around her, calling her brave for speaking out, while Erika's diehards accuse Lila of clout chasing off the scandal. Even Erika's own mother softens her defense in a follow-up Facebook Live. "My daughter made mistakes. We all do. She's human. She's hurting. Please pray for her instead of hate." The comments underneath are brutal. "Grandma, we're praying for the kids. You should be too. The family once so tight-knit, now scattered. Erika isolated. Charlie gone. Mom backpedaling. Nobody knows where the rented children are being kept, safe presumably with their real families under media blackout, but rumors swirl." One tabloid claims the oldest boy asked his mom, "Can we go back to the big house just once more? I miss the pool." The innocence of it all shatters hearts anew. As week 1 of the scandal draws to a close, the body count rises. Figuratively speaking, sponsorships evaporated, follower bleed hits, critical mass, brand value plummets overnight. But the most devastating loss might be the intangible one: the dream the Kirks sold so convincingly, the flawless, relatable, aspirational family unit. Millions bought into it, invested emotionally. Now they feel duped, foolish for believing, for commenting, for sharing, for buying the merch. The betrayal isn't just personal, it's communal, and that wound might never fully heal. Erika Kirk, once untouchable queen of mom content, now sits at the center of a reckoning that could redefine the rules of influencer parenting forever. But the story isn't over, not by a long shot, because late last night a cryptic post appears on a burner account linked to Charlie through metadata. Only eagle-eyed detectives would catch. One sentence, white text on black background: "Sometimes love isn't enough when the foundation was built on lies." Fans are losing it, speculating divorce papers, incoming custody battles over nothing, since no real kids are maybe just the final nail in the coffin of a marriage that was never what it seemed. Either way, the drama train keeps rolling full speed ahead with no breaks in sight, and everyone watching holding their breath for whatever explodes next. The tension reaches a fever pitch when Erika's lawyers finally issue a cease and desist to every major drama channel and gossip account that's been looping the nanny cam footage nonstop. The letters land like grenades, demanding immediate takedown of all unauthorized material or face swift legal action. The internet collectively gasps, because this isn't the quiet settlement route, this is war. Erika's team is fighting back hard, claiming deepfake manipulation, invasion of privacy, defamation, the works, but the move only pours rocket fuel on the flames. Fans who were on the fence now see it as confirmation she's guilty and desperate. One viral response video from a top tea spiller reads, "Oh honey, you don't send C&Ds to protect innocent people, you send them when the truth hurts too much." The comments section turns into a battlefield. Stay mad Erika versus finally someone's holding these vultures accountable. The divide deepens, but the momentum swings against her as more former agency clients, anonymous of course, start trickling out stories in Reddit threads and private discords. One claims, "I rented twins for a Christmas campaign. Erika was there at the fitting. She picked their outfits herself. Laughed about how photogenic they were, never once asked about their real families. It was all business, cold calculated content. Another says the agency had a whole menu like a restaurant: kids by age, look, hair color, personality type. You could customize your perfect fake family for the gram. It's sick when you think about it. The revelations keep coming, painting a picture of an entire underground industry nobody wants to admit exists. Charlie makes his first public appearance since the scandal, a low-key sit-down with a trusted entertainment journalist. No cameras, just audio, released as a podcast episode. His voice sounds different, hollow, like part of him is missing. He starts slow: I'm not here to bash Erika, she's still my wife, at least on paper, but I can't pretend anymore. Those children, I read to them every night when they stayed over. I taught the boy how to throw a football in the backyard. I helped the girl with her spelling words. I felt like a dad, real dad feelings, not pretend. And then to learn it was all temporary, contractual, renewable monthly. It felt like someone ripped my heart out and handed it back in pieces. He pauses for a long beat. The host asks gently, did you ever suspect? And Charlie exhales heavily, I ignored red flags. I was traveling so much, building the company. Erika handled the home front, the content, the brand. I trusted her vision, maybe too much. When I found the hidden folder on her laptop, renewal notices, invoices, photos of different kids labeled season 2 casting, I confronted her. She cried, said it was just until we could adopt for real. She promised it would end soon, but it never did. The episodes kept coming, the sponsorships kept rolling in, and I kept quiet because walking away meant losing everything: the house, the image, the kids that weren't even ours. Listeners are in tears, the comments flood, and protect Charlie at all costs. He's the only adult in this mess. Some even start GoFundMes, joke ones, but still for Charlie to start fresh by himself, a cabin far away from the Hollywood circus. Erika counters with her own interview, this time on a bigger platform, a late-night streaming show known for redemption arcs. She shows up polished but vulnerable, new haircut, softer makeup, the works. She sits across from the host, legs crossed, hands folded. I'm not asking for forgiveness, yet I'm asking for understanding. I grew up in a house where love was conditional on performance, straight A's, perfect smile, no mistakes. I carried that into adulthood. The algorithm became my new parent, always demanding more, always judging. If I slipped, the likes dropped, the deals vanished. The family brand was the only thing keeping us relevant, keeping Charlie's investors happy, keeping our life stable. I made a terrible choice, thinking short-term rentals could fill the gap while we waited for the real thing. I bonded with those kids too. I cried when they left every time, but I told myself it was temporary, just business. The host presses, but the children, how do you justify using them? Erika looks down, tears welling. I can't. I look back at those videos now and I hate what I see. I hate the forced smiles, the rehearsed I love you mommies. I was so deep in the hustle I lost sight of the humans involved. I'm in therapy now, trying to unpack why I thought that was okay. The interview ends with her saying, I'm stepping away from content indefinitely, no more vlogs, no more posts, just time to heal and hopefully make amends. The clip trends instantly, but the reception is ice cold. Many call it too little too late, others say at least she's owning it somewhat. The comments range from you're still a monster to thank you for finally saying the quiet part out loud. The rented kids' families start banding together, quietly forming a support group online, anonymous at first, then slowly going public with a joint statement read by a lawyer on their behalf. We, the undersigned biological parents, demand accountability not just from individuals but from the platforms, agencies and brands that profited from this practice. Our children were minors exploited for entertainment under the guise of family content. We are exploring all legal options, including but not limited to civil suits for emotional distress and child labor violations. The statement names no one specifically, but everyone knows who's in the crosshairs. Erika's brand deals that were already on life support flatline completely. Her skincare line gets pulled from shelves, her cookbook yanked from Amazon, promotions halted. The financial hit is catastrophic, but the emotional one cuts deeper. Paparazzi catch her leaving a therapist's office alone, head down, sunglasses on. No Charlie, no glam squad, just a woman who looks smaller than she's ever appeared online. Then the ultimate twist drops like an anvil. A whistleblower from inside Erika's management team leaks what they call the master spreadsheet, an Excel file detailing every rental, every shoot, every payment, dates, kid profiles, notes on which child performed best for emotional scenes, which one cried on cue, for authenticity bonuses. It's meticulous, horrifying, like a casting director's bible for fake families. The file gets mirrored across anonymous file-sharing sites before it can be scrubbed. The internet archives it forever. Screenshots flood everywhere. One entry stands out, dated Valentine's Day last year, rented set, 3 kids, extra tears package. Erika note, make sure little one calls her mommy. Unprompted bonus if Charlie gets teary on camera. The cold calculation of it all makes stomachs turn. Even the most jaded drama watchers are speechless. This isn't just a scandal anymore, it's evidence, potentially criminal depending on how investigators look at it. Authorities in California announce they're opening a formal inquiry into possible violations of child entertainment laws. The FBI even gets looped in for interstate commerce angles, since some shoots crossed state lines the once untouchable influencer queen now faces the very real possibility of subpoenas, depositions, maybe worse. Charlie files for legal separation. The paperwork leaks within hours. Irreconcilable differences cited, but the attached declaration from his attorney paints a clearer picture. Emotional fraud, intentional misrepresentation, breach of marital trust, the works. No mention of kids since there were none biologically, but the pain drips from every line. He loved them, he believed they were becoming family. He was deceived on the deepest level. Fans watch in real time as the perfect couple's dream home goes up for sale, quietly off market at first, then listed publicly. Realtor photos show empty rooms, no toys, no photos, no trace of the life they sold to the world. It's eerie, symbolic. The mansion that once echoed with staged laughter now silent, waiting for new owners who'll never know the ghosts that linger. As the dust swirls and new leaks threaten daily, the one constant is the conversation it sparked. Family influencers everywhere are auditing their own content, some pausing uploads entirely, others adding disclaimers this is genuine, no agencies involved, others doubling down, insisting their families are 100% real. The industry is shaking, foundations cracking open, secrets long buried under ring lights and filters. Erika Kirk, whether she meant to or not, became the match that lit the fuse, and now the whole content creation landscape is burning. People are asking hard questions: who owns the narrative when cameras roll, who protects the little ones smiling for the likes, and at what point does building a brand cross into exploitation? The answers aren't easy and they're far from finished coming, but one thing is painfully clear: the Kirk empire, built on rented dreams and borrowed children, has collapsed under the weight of its own lies, and the world is still watching, waiting for the next piece to fall. The 30 days crawl by like they're paid by the hour to drag out the suspense. Every tabloid, podcast, and stan account counts down the moments until the judge's ruling drops. Speculation runs wild. Some insiders swear Erika has already booked a victory press conference at Chateau Marmont. Others claim Victor and Lydia have quietly sold off pieces of their Beverly Hills property to cover legal fees if things go south. Charlie? He vanishes from public view completely. No posts, no stories, no sightings. His penthouse lights stay off. Rumors swirl he's holed up at a private wellness retreat in Sedona, or maybe backpacking in Iceland under a fake name. Tyler, his manager, only says he's taking space when pestered. The silence is deafening, and it only amps the tension higher. Then, on a rainy Tuesday afternoon, the clerk's office uploads the decision. PDF titled, Kirk vs. Kirk et al., Order on Motions. Within minutes it's everywhere, shared, screenshotted, dissected live on Twitch streams. The judge rules decisively: both trademark applications are denied. Erika's claimed informal ownership through prior management agreements holds no legal weight for exclusive rights. Victor and Lydia's filing is rejected outright for lack of demonstrable commercial intent at the time of application and evidence of bad faith timing. But the hammer falls hardest on the bigger issue. Charlie's counter motion is granted in full. The court declares that, as an adult creator who has built his public persona independently for years, Charlie Kirk retains sole ownership and control over his name, likeness, and associated intellectual property rights moving forward. No one else, parent, grandparent, manager, or otherwise, can file trademarks, claim managerial percentages, or pursue derivative branding without his express written consent. The internet implodes. #Charlie wins shoots to #1 worldwide. Memes flood in. Charlie's courtroom selfie photoshopped onto thrones, captioned, "The king reclaims his crown." Fan edits set his "I'm tired of being the prize" TikTok to triumphant music. Even neutral observers call it a landmark moment for young influencers. One legal commentator on YouTube goes viral saying, "This isn't just a family spat anymore. This sets precedent. No more parents or guardians trademarking their kids' names behind their backs. Gen Z just got armor." Erika's reaction is swift and scorched earth. She goes live from her Malibu balcony at sunset, wind dramatically blowing her hair, glass of rosé in hand like it's armor. "I'm heartbroken," she starts, voice low and trembling. "Not because I lost money, because I lost my son. The court took away the one thing I had left, the right to protect what I built for him. But I won't beg. If he wants to erase me from his story, so be it. I gave him life. I gave him fame. I gave him everything. And now, I'm giving him space." She pauses, looks straight into the camera. "Charlie, if you ever want your mom back, the door's open. But don't expect me to chase someone who chose strangers over blood." She ends the live abruptly, screen going black. Viewers are split. Some call it manipulative guilt tripping, others say it's raw grief. Her follower count stabilizes, but the comments section is a battlefield of love and hate. Victor and Lydia keep it classy. They release a joint statement through their attorney, We respect the court's decision and, more importantly, we respect Charlie's autonomy. Our only goal was always his well-being. We love him unconditionally and will continue to support him from wherever he allows us to stand. No interviews, no victory laps. Just quiet dignity. Insiders say they immediately began the paperwork to formally withdraw any lingering claims and even offered to cover a portion of Charlie's legal fees as a gesture. Whether he accepts is unknown. Charlie resurfaces 3 days later with his first public appearance since the hearing, a low-key podcast episode recorded remotely. The host is a respected mental health advocate who specializes in child stars. Charlie speaks slowly, thoughtfully, no notes. I didn't do this to win, he says. I did it to stop losing pieces of myself every time someone else decided what my name meant. Mom taught me how to shine. Dad and Lydia taught me how to stand. But nobody taught me how to say no until I had to learn it the hard way. He admits the past months broke him in places he didn't know could break. I stopped sleeping. I stopped eating. I started wondering if being famous was worth losing everyone. But then I realized, if I don't protect myself, no one will. He gets emotional talking about the courtroom moment. Seeing Mom cry hurt more than anything. Seeing Dad and Lydia just sit there, waiting, that hurt too. But staying silent would have hurt me forever. He addresses reconciliation directly. I'm not ready yet. I need time to figure out who I am without the drama attached. But I don't hate anyone. I just need boundaries. He ends by thanking fans for the hashtag #LetCharlieBreathe movement. You guys kept me going when I wanted to disappear. That meant everything. The episode gets over 100 million downloads in the first week. Brands that dropped him during the feud start sliding back into DMS with apologies and new offers, better terms, more control. He signs exactly one. A mental health awareness campaign where he narrates short videos about creator burnout. No merch, no energy drinks, no Charlie Kirk hoodies. Just him, speaking honestly. Months pass. The headlines slow. Erika relaunches her reality show without mentioning Charlie once. New cast, new drama, same over-the-top confessionals. Ratings dip slightly but hold steady. She starts dating a European DJ half her age. Tabloids call it her revenge era. Victor and Lydia sell the Beverly Hills house, move to a quieter place in Santa Barbara. They post occasional garden photos on a new joint Instagram, nothing flashy, just tomatoes growing, sunsets, the occasional dog. Charlie likes every single one. Then, on the 1-year anniversary of the ruling, Charlie posts a single photo. It's simple, 3 coffee cups on a wooden table at sunrise. 1 black, 1 latte, 1 herbal tea. No faces, no tags. Caption. Some conversations take time. But they're worth having. The internet loses it again, speculating it's him, Victor, and Lydia. Or maybe Erika too. Or maybe not. He doesn't clarify. Weeks later, paparazzi catch a glimpse. Charlie walking on Malibu Beach at dawn. Far in the distance, a woman in oversized sunglasses and a baseball cap walks parallel, not approaching, just there. The zoom is grainy, but the posture is unmistakable. Erika. They don't speak. They don't hug. They just walk, same direction, same pace, 30 feet apart. The photos hit the feeds with headlines like, Slow Thaw in Kirk Family Feud, No Confirmation, No Denial. Another sighting. Victor and Lydia at a small charity event for youth mental health. Charlie's foundation is a sponsor. He doesn't attend, but a video shows him sending a pre-recorded message played on the big screen. Victor and Lydia watch from the front row, smiling softly, clapping harder than anyone. No grand reunion. No tearful apologies on camera. No reality special titled, The Kirks Heal. Just small, private steps. Boundaries respected. Space given. Love tested, bent, but not fully broken. The trademark war that tore them apart ironically gave Charlie the one thing fame never could. Control. And in the quiet aftermath, the family starts the slow, messy work of rebuilding, not for the cameras, not for the followers, but for themselves. Of course, Hollywood being Hollywood, everyone waits for the next shoe to drop. Will Erika sue again over old contracts? Will Charlie ever fully forgive? Will the grandparents get their quiet place back in his life? The questions linger like smoke after a fire. But for now, the blaze has died down to embers. And in the glow, there's the faintest hint of something rare in this town. Hope. This chapter may be closing, but the Kirk family story? It's far from over. Scars fade slowly. Trust rebuilds slower. But when a son finally claims his own name, sometimes that's the beginning of everyone else learning theirs too. The legal storm finally breaks wide open when California's Department of Industrial Relations announces a formal investigation into the Kirk case, specifically citing potential violations of child labor laws in the entertainment industry. Subpoenas fly out like confetti to the agency. Erika's management team, even Charlie's company, gets dragged in for records related to any joint family branded content. The headlines scream influencer empire crumbles under child exploitation probe, and suddenly what started as juicy gossip fodder morphs into national news. CNN picks it up. Morning shows run segments with child psychologists weighing in on the long-term effects of being a rented child. One expert says these kids may develop attachment disorders, trust issues, identity confusion because they're conditioned to form quick bonds, then sever them abruptly. It's emotional whiplash dressed up as family fun. The public outrage hits critical mass. Petitions to regulate family content creators gain hundreds of thousands of signatures calling for mandatory disclosures, age-appropriate labor protections, mandatory on-set welfare officers, the kind of oversight that exists for actual child actors but never trickled down to the wild west of influencer land. Platforms like YouTube and TikTok feel the heat too. They quietly update community guidelines, adding clauses about deceptive family content and exploitative minor portrayals. Brands that once clamored to partner with mommy bloggers now run for the hills, issuing blanket statements about zero tolerance for any form of child commodification. The dominoes keep falling and Erika's name is etched on every single one. Amid the chaos, Erika vanishes from the grid. No posts, no stories, no cryptic quotes, just gone radio silent for the first time in a decade. Her verified accounts sit dormant, follower count still hemorrhaging but slowing as the morbidly curious stick around for the next chapter. Insiders whisper she's checked into a private wellness retreat somewhere in Arizona. No phones, no cameras, just therapy, yoga, and mandated silence. Her team confirms only that she's taking time for personal reflection and family matters, but the absence speaks louder than any apology video ever could. Fans who once lived for her daily uploads now refresh empty feeds, feeling oddly bereft, like losing a toxic friend you know you're better off without but still miss the drama. Charlie, on the other hand, starts showing up in public again. Low profile, walks in Malibu, coffee runs solo. He looks different, leaner, eyes shadowed, but there's a quiet resolve there too. Paparazzi catch him meeting with lawyers multiple times. One eagle-eyed fan snaps a photo of documents peeking from his briefcase, words like dissolution, settlement, parenting rights. Even though no legal kids exist, the speculation runs wild. Is he fighting for some kind of continued contact with the rented children? Maybe visitation, maybe just closure. Sources close to him say he's haunted by the memories, bedtime stories, backyard soccer, scraped knees and giggles that felt so real he can't just switch them off like a bad dream. He's reportedly started a private fund, anonymous donations to support the biological family's therapy for the kids' college savings, anything to ease the guilt he carries for not seeing the truth sooner. Then, in a move no one sees coming, one of the rented kids, now 11, speaks out, not on camera but through a handwritten letter read aloud by his mother on a small independent podcast. The boy's words, simple, heartbreaking: I liked going to the big house because there was a pool and ice cream every day, but I didn't like pretending the lady was my mom. It made my tummy hurt because I knew my real mom was at home waiting for me. I wish someone asked me if I wanted to do it instead of just telling me to smile. The letter goes mega viral, shared across every platform. Parents everywhere are ugly crying, hugging their own children tighter. Suddenly the abstract scandal has a face, a voice, a little boy's honest confusion cutting through all the spin. The mother adds, we're not suing for money, we just want the world to know these aren't props, they're people with feelings. We trusted the system and it failed our kids. The podcast episode breaks download records and reignites calls for accountability, this time from actual lawmakers. A congressional subcommittee on digital media and child protection schedules hearings for the following month, inviting experts, former influencers, affected families, even representatives from the major platforms. Erika gets a formal summons, though her lawyers are already fighting tooth and nail to quash it, claiming health reasons and ongoing therapy. Lila Monroe, Erika's ex-bestie, resurfaces with a tell-all thread on X detailing years of red flags, the late-night strategy sessions where Erika joked about needing fresher faces for the algorithm, the times she'd call crying about renewal dates approaching, the casual way she'd refer to the kids as cast members. Lila writes, I laughed it off back then, thought it was just industry talk. I was wrong, I was complicit in my silence, and I'll spend the rest of my career making sure no one else gets away with this. The thread garners millions of views, supportive replies rolling in by the thousands, many calling her the hero who finally spoke truth to power, others accusing her of jumping ship when the scandal hit. But the damage to Erika's legacy is irreversible. Even her most ardent defenders are quiet, now scrolling in stunned silence as the once glittering brand turns to ash. Months tick by slowly, painfully. The investigation drags on. Depositions pile up. Erika testifies behind closed doors, emerging pale and silent. Charlie settles the separation quietly. No splashy court battle, just papers signed and a joint statement. We have decided to part ways amicably and wish each other healing. The house sells to a tech couple who promise to gut the place, start fresh. No trace of the Kirks left behind. The rented kids fade from the spotlight, their families shielded by privacy orders. Therapy paid for anonymously. The boy from the letter reportedly starts soccer league. His mom posts one blurry photo of him scoring a goal, captioning simply real life, no retakes. The internet moves on to the next scandal, but this one lingers like smoke in the air every time a family influencer posts a too perfect morning routine or a suspiciously timed emotional breakdown. People pause, wonder, is this genuine or rented? The question hangs unspoken, but it's there, forever changing how we consume the content we once devoured without question. Erika eventually emerges from retreat, not triumphant, not broken, just different. She starts a small private Instagram account, locked followers only, posting abstract art, therapy journal snippets, quotes about forgiveness and growth. No apologies, no explanations, just quiet existence. Charlie relocates to a coastal town up north, starts a nonprofit focused on digital ethics and child online safety. He speaks at conferences, voice steady, sharing his story as a cautionary tale about love, ambition, and the cost of blindness. The two never reconcile publicly, but rumor has it they exchange occasional texts, checking in like old soldiers who survived the same war. The rented kids grow up, their stories tucked away, but occasionally one will surface in a college essay or a quiet interview saying, I was part of something bigger than me once and it taught me what family really means. Not the one on camera, but the one waiting at home with open arms, no script required. And so the Kirk saga fades from daily headlines but never fully disappears. It becomes folklore in influencer circles, the cautionary tale whispered at creator retreats, the name that makes newbies pause before faking a moment for the gram, because once upon a time a woman built an empire on borrowed children, and when the truth came crashing down it took everything with it, leaving behind a simple, unbreakable lesson. In the age of content, no facade is forever, and the smallest, most innocent hearts pay the highest price when the cameras finally stop rolling. And just like that, the Kirk scandal settles into the kind of slow burn aftermath that turns legends into cautionary tales, but the embers still glow hot enough to scorch anyone who gets too close, because even as the headlines thin out and the trending tags fade, new ripples keep appearing in the strangest places. A year after the initial leaks, a documentary crew quietly wraps principal photography on what insiders are calling the definitive tell-all, titled Rented Dreams: The Rise and Fall of the Perfect Family Brand. The trailer drops unannounced on Vimeo late one night. Grainy clips of Erika's old vlogs intercut with the leaked nanny cam footage, anonymous parent interviews, Charlie's podcast audio, the boy's handwritten letter, all layered over haunting piano and a voiceover that asks one simple question: what happens when the family you follow was never really there? The teaser racks up millions of views in hours, comments disabled to prevent immediate war, but the buzz is deafening. Netflix reportedly in a bidding war, Apple TV Plus circling, HBO Max throwing around seven-figure offers. The project becomes the most anticipated true crime adjacent doc since Tiger King, except this time the monster isn't a zookeeper, it's the algorithm itself, and the prey are children who never asked to be cast. Erika hears about the film through her new low-key PR representative, the one she hired after the old team scattered like roaches when the subpoenas started. She's living quietly now in a modest condo in Sedona, adobe walls, desert views, no ring lights, no sponsored smoothies, just her, a therapist twice a week, and a rescue dog named Truth. Ironic, she tells friends, half joking, half broken, she doesn't fight the documentary, doesn't send more cease and desists, doesn't leak counter narratives. She simply declines every interview request with the same polite three-word response: no thank you. But in private she watches the trailer on loop, alone in the dark, tears streaming, because even she can't deny how damning it all looks when edited together. The footage she once called authentic now plays like a horror reel of manipulation. She starts journaling again, raw, unfiltered pages she'll never post. Snippets leak anyway because nothing stays private in this world forever. One entry surfaces on a gossip forum: I thought I was building legacy, turns out I was building evidence against myself. Charlie, on the other hand, leans all the way in. He agrees to sit for the doc on camera, first time showing his face since the separation. He's in a simple flannel shirt, salt and pepper beard, eyes clear but weary. The interviewer asks why now, and he answers, because silence let the lie live longer than it deserved. Those kids deserved better than to be footnotes in someone's brand story. I owed them the truth, even if it cost me everything. He talks about the moment he found the spreadsheet, the nausea that hit when he realized the line item labeled bonus for authentic mommy tears was real money paid for real pain. He talks talks about missing the children not as concepts but as people, the way the girl used to draw him pictures of spaceships. The boys laugh when he finally nailed a kickflip on the skateboard in the driveway. He says, "I still keep one of those drawings in my wallet, folded up small like a secret I can't let go." The interview goes viral in snippets. Fans who once hated him for staying quiet now call him the voice of reason, the one who paid the emotional price while everyone else cashed checks. The rented kids, now teenagers, some of them start speaking more openly, not for clout but for healing. One girl, now 15, launches a small TikTok account under a pseudonym, posting about identity, about belonging, about how it feels to have been someone's temporary daughter. For likes, she doesn't name Erika directly, but the subtext is unmistakable. In one video, she says, "I learned early that love can be contractual, that hugs can come with cue cards, that family isn't always forever, sometimes it's just until the shoot wraps." Her videos get picked up by mental health advocates, shared in therapy circles, used in university classes on digital ethics. She becomes a quiet symbol not of victimhood but of resilience, proof that kids can survive the spotlight's aftermath and come out with something real to say. Meanwhile, the industry itself changes in ways no one predicted. YouTube rolls out family content labels, mandatory disclosures for any video featuring minors in recurring roles. TikTok follows with stricter age gating and content moderation teams dedicated to spotting rental red flags. Brands demand authenticity audits before signing deals, asking creators to provide school records, birth certificates, anything to prove the kids are actually theirs. Family influencers either adapt or fade. The ones who thrive now overshare the messy parts. Tantrums, stretch marks, postpartum depression, real arguments because perfection is no longer profitable. Trust is the new currency and nobody wants to risk another Kirk-level implosion. Erika's brand never recovers. The skincare line folds, the cookbook goes out of print, the merch sits in liquidation warehouses, sold for pennies on the dollar. She tries a quiet comeback with a ghost-written memoir titled Borrowed Time, but publishers pass, saying the market's too saturated with scandal books and frankly the public isn't ready to forgive. Yet she ends up self-publishing it, sells modestly to a niche audience of true crime buffs and former stans looking for closure. She dedicates the book to the children whose names I never really knew but whose faces I'll never forget. It's the closest she ever comes to a public apology, and even then it feels incomplete. Charlie's nonprofit grows slowly but steadily. Digital ethics for families, workshops in schools, talks at tech conferences. He meets someone new, eventually a teacher from the coastal town, quiet, kind, no socials, no interest in fame. They build something small and real, no cameras allowed. He still thinks about the rented kids on quiet nights, wonders if they remember him the way he remembers them. Sometimes he drives by the old Malibu house, now renovated beyond recognition, and just sits in the car for a minute letting the memories wash over him. Then he drives away because staying would mean living in the past, and he's finally learned that lesson the hard way. Years later, the Kirk scandal becomes curriculum, case study in media ethics classes, journalism programs, communications degrees. Students dissected like a fossil. What went wrong? How did millions miss the signs? Why did it take leaked footage to spark change? They debate whether Erika was a villain, a victim of the system, or both. They argue about Charlie's culpability, his silence, his late awakening. The rented kids remain the emotional core, the human cost that can't be quantified in views or dollars. The story doesn't end with justice or revenge, it ends with quiet, irreversible change. The way a bomb goes off and the shrapnel keeps traveling long after the explosion fades. And in the end, that's the real legacy of the rented kids scandal, not the downfall of one woman or one marriage, but the reminder etched into the bones of the internet forever that when you turn childhood into content, when you rent hearts for engagement, when you script love for likes, something breaks that can never quite be fixed. The cameras may stop rolling, but the children keep growing, carrying pieces of that fabricated family with them into real life where no retakes are allowed and no filter can hide the truth. The years roll on and the rented kids scandal becomes one of those stories that never quite dies. It lingers in the background like a ghost at every influencer event, every new family vlog launch, every sponsored mommy moment that feels a little too polished. People whisper, "Remember the Kirks, the one who rented her whole life," and suddenly the creator hesitates, double checks their footage, wonders if that genuine laugh was genuine enough, or if someone somewhere might start zooming in looking for cracks in the facade. The industry didn't collapse overnight, but it did change forever. Authenticity became the new flex, not perfection. The messy, real, unfiltered stuff started getting the views because nobody wanted to risk being the next Erika Kirk, the woman who turned motherhood into a subscription service and paid the ultimate price when the bill came due. Erika herself fades further into the quiet life she tried to build in Sedona. She adopts a couple of rescue dogs, starts a small garden, grows tomatoes that nobody films. She writes poetry, sometimes posts it anonymously on a tiny blog under a fake name. Lines like "Roots grow deeper when no one is watching, they don't need likes to survive." She doesn't talk about the past much, but when she does, it's soft, almost wistful. "I thought I was giving the world what it wanted. Turns out the world wanted truth more than they wanted my version of it," she tells a rare interviewer off the record years later. No cameras, no microphones, just two people and a recorder. The piece never gets published because she asks nicely and the journalist respects it. She's not looking for redemption anymore, just peace. Charlie's path diverges in a different direction. His nonprofit becomes a respected voice in Silicon Valley circles. He testifies before Congress, pushes for better protections for child creators, helps draft guidelines that get adopted by major platforms. He remarries quietly to that same teacher from the coastal town. They have a daughter the old-fashioned way, no cameras, no sponsorships, just love, the messy kind, with spit up on shirts and sleepless nights. He posts one photo on a private account, friends only, his little girl asleep on his chest, caption simple, real. He never mentions Erika publicly again, but close friends say he still keeps a small box in his office, a few crayon drawings from the rented boy, a folded note from the girl, "Thank you for teaching me soccer." It's not closure exactly, but it's something he can hold on to without it hurting quite so much. The rented children grow into young adults, each carrying their own version of the story. One becomes an advocate for child online safety, speaks at schools about consent and boundaries. Another goes into film, not in front of the camera but behind it, directing documentaries about identity and belonging. The third, the boy who wrote the letter, becomes a soccer coach, works with underprivileged kids, teaches them the game without any strings attached, no endorsements, no content, no performance, just the ball and the field and the joy of scoring a goal that's yours alone. They don't hate Erika, not anymore. Time and therapy softened the edges, but they don't forgive easily either. They simply move forward, building lives that belong to them. No rentals, no renewals, no monthly checks, just real roots in real soil. And through it all, the internet keeps turning. New scandals rise and fall, new queens get crowned then dethroned, but the Kirk story stays etched in the collective memory, a warning wrapped in drama, a reminder that when you build your house on borrowed foundations, sooner or later the wind comes and everything tumbles. The perfect family facade, the one we all scrolled past, envied, liked, shared, it was never bulletproof. It was just well lit, well edited, well paid for, until it wasn't, and when the lights went out, the truth stepped into frame, stark, unfiltered, unforgiving. So there you have it, the full unraveling of Erika Kirk, the rented kids, the broken marriage, the shattered empire, the quiet aftermath that followed. It's the kind of story that makes you question everything you see online, every too perfect moment, every tear that falls right on cue, every "I love you mommy" that sounds just a little too rehearsed, because once you know how deep the deception can go, you can't unsee it. You start looking closer, wondering who's renting what behind the smiles and the filters and the hashtags. What do you think? Was Erika just a product of a broken system, or did she cross lines nobody should ever cross? Was Charlie truly blindsided, or did he turn a blind eye for too long? And most importantly, how do we protect the kids in this content-crazy world before the next rental scandal drops? Hit that like button if this whole saga shook you, subscribe and turn on notifications, because trust me when I say the internet never runs out of drama, and we'll be here breaking it all down, raw, real and unfiltered. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Team Erika, Team Charlie, or Team the Kids? Let me know where you stand and tell me what other influencer mysteries you want me to dive into next, because if there's one thing this story taught us, it's that the truth always comes out eventually. Sometimes it just takes a leaked video or two to set it free. Thanks for watching, stay sharp out there, and I'll see you in the next one.